Have you ever grown a philodendron indoors and wondered what it would take to get it to bloom? Well, this video is going to show you exactly how that was done. So this is my about 4-year-old philodendron, Bloody Mary. There's several other cultivars that are similar, but that's what it was sold to me as. That's what I'm going with. But check out these huge, dark purple leaves. These are just massive, massive, massive leaves. But guess what, guys? This is not Photoshop. This is real. And this is a bloom on my philodendron. Check it out. Now that is not completely opened yet. It is just starting to the blooming process. If you don't know, that's the male part and the female part. They kind of bloom at different times to kind of keep it I think it's more like to keep the plant to be cross-pollinated so they're not both blooming at the same time, but I could be wrong. But anyways, what did I do to make this amazing plant bloom? Well, first off, it's in a nice sunny east-facing window. I know it's about to rain today, so it's kind of cloudy out, but this gets direct morning sun every single day. So the plant is shaded from, heavy, bright sun in the afternoon. So that's number one, but it does get plenty of sunlight. So number two, humidity. These are tropical humidity-loving plants. Now I have a humidifiers running down here, mostly in the wintertime because it does get so dry in houses, with gas heat and things like that. But yeah, so this little area here stays pretty humid. Right now, my little meter here is saying it's about 65% humidity in this little area of the dining room / plant room area. And as you can see over here, this is actually a south-facing window, which gets tons and tons of light. So the plant does get some, secondary light, I call it, I guess, from this window here, as it kind of shines on this area over here. So yeah, growing your philodendron in pure darkness or in an office setting will not help it bloom. So humidity and enough sunlight, okay, but not too much direct sunlight on the plant. Now that being said, look how big this plant is. Let's just take it back for perspective. It goes all the way up to here. I need to actually cut this back eventually. It's going to outgrow this entire window, but I actually had to tie it up to the curtain rods because it was so big, and it outgrew its little moss pole here. But that's another point. If you want this to bloom, it has to grow on something, okay? This little moss pole, I kind of had to stick two of these together. At one point, this plant was just, it was doing okay. It was just putting on a few leaves. It was doing all right. And then at one point in life, it decided it was just going to take off, and it just grew and grew and just kept growing and growing. And these massive, just absolutely humongous leaves right here. Check it out. So yes, you need to have humidity, light. It needs to grow on something, okay? It's not gonna bloom unless it's, gotten to this size anyway. So if you don't have enough room to actually grow a plant out to this size, it's not gonna bloom. Now that being said, let's look at the pot size down here. Now I think this is actually what helps it out. You don't want to over pot a philodendron, okay? They don't have a very massive root system. They grow in tropical areas where there's basically no topsoil. Jungle soils are notoriously infertile, but there's a lot of like humus and stuff like that on the surface level. So they have, smaller roots. They're not trees, okay? They're not digging deep into the soil. But yeah, this little tiny pot, it's been in for probably 2 to 3 years now at this point, and is, I'd say it's probably pretty root bound at this point, which philodendrons need to be basically root bound before they actually put on a bloom. Isn't that awesome? I mean, just look at the size of some of these leaves. Let's get a little close-up look. Look how big these leaves are. Now, these are actually a little bit greenish on the top here, but on the back side, you get good light. Check out how dark that is. Okay, and that's probably where it's getting a lot more sunlight. And some of these lower leaves eventually are going to start falling off. Like this leaf is on its way out eventually, which is normal because these plants in nature are going to, vine up gigantic trees looking for more light and things such as that. So if you notice some of your lower leaves kind of start dying off, do not worry. As long as the top growth up here, and look at that, it's putting these little aerial roots out like this, which if it was growing in nature, it would kind of affix itself to some trees, and these roots would kind of anchor themselves in. That's kind of what we're replicating right here with this this moss pole with this coconut fiber on it. But yeah, here it is, guys. Let me show you again. Now right here, just kind of splitting off this main right here. There you go. That is the bloom of this philodendron. Now I've had a little bit of time with this. Now be careful, little care tip. Mealybugs will definitely love this plant, and they're gonna, make sure you stay, vigilant and kind of spray these as necessary. But if I'm not mistaken, if I can get to focus right there, this may be very similar to this right there, this may bloom again. I might be able to get 2 blooms out of this, guys. I'll definitely keep you posted. So as this plant matures, I'm going to kind of go through the process of trying to pollinate this by hand, try to get these to grow from seed, the whole process like that. I will definitely keep you guys informed and show you everything I do along the way. It is amazing. I'm just really, really excited. I had to get this video out right now. I actually wasn't planning on filming or doing anything today. I saw this as I was eating some breakfast, and it just is amazing. I cannot believe this is happening. This is awesome. It said it can't be done. Everything you read online tells you cannot get a philodendron to bloom indoors unless you have a greenhouse or perfectly tropical climate, etc., etc. Well, here you go, guys. You can, in fact, get a philodendron to bloom indoors with the proper care and a little bit of time and a little bit of patience. There you go, guys. Please subscribe, follow along, and I'll show you everything I do in this process to get this philodendron from this flower here to seed, to sprouts, to new plants. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you then.